Generous support from sponsors has been one key to the success and longevity of the Environmental Stewardship Award Program. Another has been the commitment of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. And joining us now is Colin Woodall, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Welcome, Colin. Let's begin with a little history. What exactly prompted NCBA to create the Environmental Stewardship Award way back in 1991?
We created this program because we knew that we had to take an opportunity to showcase all the great work that was being done on cattle farms and ranches across the country to protect the natural resources. But what's interesting about it is we did that before the whole topic of sustainability and environmental impact was cool. So we really were visionary in the creation of this program because we knew just how important it was to protect the natural resources, whether that's the land, the air, the water, and to be able to recognize those producers who are doing such a great job of that. And that's why the Environmental Stewardship Award Program has been so successful over the years.
Now, you use the word visionary. It really is visionary to think that 3 decades ago we were focusing on stewardship and care of the land, isn't it?
You know, when you look at what we're dealing with today, everybody's talking about sustainability. They're talking about climate change, greenhouse gases, and the overall environmental impact. They weren't talking about that 30 years ago. But NCBA saw that this was going to be a continued issue and one that was going to continue to put pressure on us as producers to show why we should be able to keep doing what we were doing. And the best way to combat any detractors in this particular area is to be able to showcase the great work that we are already doing. And that's why ESAP has been so successful, because it's allowed us to be able to show the different types of activities being done across the country, because we know that cattle production in New York is not the same as cattle production in Hawaii. So being able to show all the different ways that it's being done and protecting the natural resource at the same time is just a great opportunity for us as an industry.
So I got to ask you, have those stories of what cattle producing families have done to care for the land and livestock really helped NCBA's work here in Washington, D.C.?
Well, they've been able to help our work across the board. In Washington, D.C., we've been able to take national winners and regional winners of the Environmental Stewardship Award. We've been able to bring them to Washington, D.C., where they have done congressional briefings, talking to members of Congress and also the staff on both the House and Senate side. And also, we've had Environmental Stewardship Award winners come in and testify in front of Congress. So it's been a great opportunity to utilize producers that probably without ESAP, we would not have known would have had such a great story to be able to tell. But it's also the bigger effort on behalf of NCBA to protect our industry and go out and advocate for our industry and to show what a great role we provide in being those true stewards of the land, the air, and the water, whether that's on national television, whether that's in newspapers. In fact, we just were able to utilize a lot of this information during New York City's Climate Week to be able to show that we're part of the solution, we're not part of the problem.
And we really do have a good story to tell, don't we?
We have a great story to tell, and it's becoming easier and easier to tell as more and more people actually apply for the Environmental Stewardship Award. And as we grow each year's group of award winners to be able to pull from different regions, different states, in order to meet a lot of the local concerns that we see in big cities.
So, Colin, what would you say to encourage other farmers and ranchers out there to get involved, both in NCBA and perhaps even recognizing that they too could be nominated for an Environmental Stewardship Award?
Cattle producers need to be a member of NCBA because we are being very proactive in protecting our industry and trying to chart this course on environmental stewardship under our terms, not the terms of the federal government. And the only way we can do that is with these stories and with the grassroots help that makes NCBA so powerful. But at the same time, if you are a cattle producer that's an NCBA member and you're looking around and said, hey, I'm doing a lot of good stuff on my operation, or you know a neighbor who is doing some really great stuff on their operation, nominate them, nominate yourself, be a part of this, because we want to try to have as many applicants as possible to showcase that this is not a situation that's only happening on 1 or 2 operations around the country. This is a daily practice on cattle operations everywhere, and we need to do everything we can to showcase as many as possible.
Colin, thanks for your time. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.